Would you ever volunteer to give yourself a pay cut? Especially if the job was as hard as the commission-based home improvement sales job where you drove hundreds of miles a week and worked morning to night? Well, that's what you do every time you discount the price in your close, especially if you're doing a one-call close. Look at discounting for what it really is. You're opening your wallet and handing money to the customer every time you discount. Most reps discount for one reason. They don't know what to do next. Here are 3 things I've learned after personally being in over 16,000 homes that will help you avoid giving your hard-earned money away by discounting. Please listen to the end to hear all 3 to make sure that you get every penny you deserve. The first way, and it may seem obvious, is to learn how to one-call close the right way. If your idea of closing is that whenever they give you an objection or don't say yes immediately is to drop or discount the price, then you really don't know how to close. Even if they say it's too much money, the cure isn't always to drop the price. When closing, understand that too much money may not have anything to do with they don't want to spend that much or don't think it's worth it, but that they can't afford it. If you try to sell someone a diamond ring worth $5,000 for $1,000 and they say it's too much money, dropping the price may be silly. That's because too much money doesn't mean that they don't think it's worth it, but that they can't afford it. You just need to work out a payment plan that they can afford. Affordability means working payments, and most salespeople have different ways to lower the payment without dropping the price, such as getting a bigger deposit, offering alternate financing plans, or in the worst case, changing the product or phasing the job down. 4 windows sold at full commission is better than selling 10 windows at no commission. However, if the issue really is that they don't want to spend that much or can't see the value, instead of dropping the price, how about you learn how to build the value in the close? People buy when the value exceeds the price of what they're spending. When they don't, it's because the price looks like this and the value looks like this. To close the gap, don't lower the price, learn to build the value in the close. For example, so we're at $20,000 and you say that you don't think the windows are worth more than $15,000 too. Yeah. Would you mind if I share something else that I can leave with you and you can think about it? Yeah, that's fine, Ron. Well, you told me earlier that you're paying about $250 a month in your gas and electric. What do you think the least amount that these windows would save you on your fuel bills from what I've shown you? Oh, I don't know, $60 a month. Okay, well, $60 a month comes out to $720 a year. And if you're going to be here for 10 years, like you said, that's $7,200 in energy savings that you're going to have. So if I add in the energy savings, the $20,000 job isn't really $20,000, it's more like about $12,800. I mean, if I told you these windows would really cost you $12,800, what would you have said? Well, I would have done it. Well, that's what I'm telling you right now. Or learn not to discount by handling things people tell you in the close that a weaker salesperson would immediately drop the price on. For example, you deliver a price of $20,000 and instantly the customer says, well, I could get that for $17,000. Good place to offer a discount, right? Wrong. My response would be, $17,000? Why so much? You could probably get that for half that amount. Then when the customer looks confused and says, what? I say, yes, there's nothing somebody can't sell that someone else can't sell for less using cheaper materials and labor. Is that what you want? No, I don't, Ron. Well, what we have costs $20,000. Smile and be quiet again. Now, before we get into the second tip, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe to help me. Quick note, if you want my full step-by-step in-home process, not just discounts, I put it all into one training called The Art of Selling Home Improvements. It's the exact system I use from walking in the door to walking out with the contract. If you want it, the link's in the description below. The second way to avoid having a discount is to learn how to have a better sales presentation. One that builds the value of your product so you aren't stuck having to drop the price on the close because they don't think it's worth it or want to spend what you're charging. Ideally, the discount is not used to lower the price to match the value you've created for your product. They should already think it's worth the price you're charging. It should just be used to create urgency by them getting a deal. Value is created before the close in your sales presentation. You need to learn to build value by understanding how to price condition them effectively so they see the value in what you're selling. Also, you can handle the money/discount issues by learning how to sell your product so they want it more. Not want it, but lust for it. The more someone wants something, the less the money is an issue, and the less they want something, the more the money is an issue. We've all bought things that we may have thought was a little overpriced or was stretching our budget and maybe we really shouldn't be buying it right now, but we did it anyway. Why? Because we had to have it. That's what great salespeople learn to do. Even if the customer may only have a spark of interest to start with, they learn to fan that spark to a fire of white-hot desire. Sales in its basic sense is learning how to make somebody want something. Learn how to do it well, and it won't matter how much it costs, and therefore you won't have to discount as much. The third way to help you avoid giving your money away with discounts is to be strong and not be so desperate. In other words, learn to hold your price. Don't be the rep where when the customer hesitates even for a second in the close that you drop the price. I don't know, Ron. We may have to think about it. Well, what if we took another $1,000 off? Wrong. Listen to what they're saying. We may have to think about it. They're not saying no here. It's like they're thinking out loud. The best response would just to be silent or just saying no problem and be quiet instead. So instead it sounds like this. I don't know, Ron. We may have to think about it. No problem. But you know, we've been saying we have to get it done, and it does seem like a fair price. Maybe we should just do it. Okay, who fills out the credit app? Or when you hear the question that lets you know you're close to the sale, but oftentimes a weaker salesperson starts to drop the price. Is this your best price? No. What did you want to take off? Well, can you do it cheaper, Ron? Sure. What did you want me to take off? The response and the strategy are similar. Hold your ground. Don't be afraid to let them say no. In fact, my strategy in the close is I wait for them to say no before I move back in again to make sure they aren't just thinking out loud or just reacting here. If you back off in the close, the worst thing that could happen is they really could say no, or I have to think about it, and do you have a card? Then you can go through your normal closing steps, but by discounting so soon, you may have wasted a bullet you didn't need to use. You can't seem desperate, and dropping the price wrong sounds desperate. You've heard me say many times that sales is like a seduction. The close is almost like the difference between how you would act if you liked someone and didn't know if he or she liked you or not. When you don't know if they liked you, the worst thing you could do is to be desperate or begging. Well, I don't know if I can see you this Saturday, Ron. Well, why not? Or what if I took you to a really nice price? Discount. Now, how would you act if their best friend secretly told you they were in love with you? You would be cool, and if they said, I don't know if I could make it this Saturday, your response would be more like, no problem. We get so caught up in closing that sometimes we forget that they want it just as much as you want to make the sale if you've done your job correctly. The analogy is that after I'm done with my sales presentation, I know they want it, and it gives me strength to deal with it differently in the close. I know they love me. Now, if you like this video and want to learn more about making them want it, watch the How to Sell with Emotions video next, because that's where you make them want it before price even comes up. And if you want the complete step-by-step system, check out my training, The Art of Selling Home Improvements. It's backed by a double your money back guarantee, so there's no risk to you. Both are listed above or in the description below. Happy selling!